Hey everyone, so we are back in the fish room. This is DW's Darius, and today I actually have some disturbing news. I lost one of my best fish, one of my favorite fish of all time. I know people say this all the time about all their fish, but this fish no doubt was one of my favorite fish, to the point where I actually have paintings of this fish around the fish room, multiple paintings of this fish. If you look at my username, DWS Darius, my channel icon is a Flagtail Pochilodus, and that is the fish I lost. So it's bad enough I lost one of my favorite fish, but the way I lost it, the way this fish died, is just unbelievable. So first off, we are in mating season in the fish room. I actually figured out a way to trigger mating season with my aquariums a couple of years ago. And basically during the winter time, I just don't use heaters. So in the winter, the temperatures drop a little bit. I still use my house furnace so that they're not freezing. But we get low temperatures here in the winter. I'd say around 74 degrees average. The lowest it ever gets to is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I never let it get lower than that. But that's the average temperature in the winter. And then when we come around in the summer, we have temperatures in the 80s in these aquariums. Outside it's like 100 degrees, but with the aquariums down here in the basement, they're at about 80 degrees right now. And that triggers mating season, so you get this more aggressive behavior from the fish in the aquariums. Just look right now. If we stare at this tank, we're going to see some aggression in a matter of 10 seconds. Let's count it off. 10, 9, and we have right over here these two arguing. Let's count a little longer. 8, 7, 6, 5. You see these two right here. 4, 3, 2, 1, and right over here. So in 10 seconds, we have like 4 different arguments because these guys they're triggered during mating season. You see they're clearing out nests, they're trying to create these little territories to breed in. And this is because, like I said, I've been recreating the seasons here in my fish room, and these guys are responding. And in this aquarium is not too bad because they can't really take it too far because there's so many of them. However, in this aquarium, things can get pretty serious, especially considering the size of these fish. A lot of these fish are easily over 1 foot long, some of them close to 2 feet long. And when these guys do get aggressive and territorial because of mating season, it gets pretty bad. And that's what happened in the case of my Flagtail Pochilodus. So if we come down a little bit, they're at the top because they're ready to eat. But the same pair that tried to spawn last time, we have my Orinoco cichlid right here, showing a nice turquoise color because it's in mating season, and it's trying to mate with that mono over there. You see the mono is nice and colored up. That's one of the things I like about mating season, that you get these really nice colors, but I'm starting to realize that the aggression that comes with the colors is not really worth it. You see the Orinoco over there trying to clear out this territory, and here comes his mono partner, and these two have been trying to fight everybody in the tank. If you look at the biggest fish in the tank, this is my Temensis, 2 feet long. He actually has scars on his side because they've been fighting him, and he's been trying to run from them. And you know, he's a big fish, so he runs and he's crashing into wood and into walls, and it's creating a lot of damage. So yeah, these two are starting to spawn, and they're creating a lot of problems. And somehow they clash with my Flagtail Pochilodus. My Flagtail Pochilodus, for the most part, was a gentle giant. However, sometimes it didn't like to be bullied by certain fish, and some of those fish include these peacock bass up here. So I tried to take them on, not knowing that they were working as a team. As a team, they overcame the Flagtail Pochilodus. They didn't kill him, they ripped up his tail. So my immediate response was to take him out. I put him inside of my 210-gallon aquarium. But the Flagtail Pochilodus was previously living inside this 880-gallon aquarium. I literally put him in a tank that's 4 times smaller. He got claustrophobic, so he started to bang himself out and panic a lot. I thought he was going to die. So I ended up taking him out to my backyard pond, which is actually bigger than this aquarium. The pond is about 1,000 gallons. Look, we have more mating season aggression. Let me just give you guys a look at some of this aggression that we witnessed during mating season. Now, I don't have much video evidence of the aggression that occurs in this aquarium, The fish in this tank know that if I catch them being aggressive, I'll actually go inside with a net and chase the aggressor around. So they try not to be aggressive when I'm in front of the tank, but nevertheless they still are aggressive. As I mentioned, my Temensis has a few scratches on the side. My Azul has a few scars, same thing with my Mono. And I'm seeing a trend, most of the aggression is being directed towards my other peacock bass. And that's pretty normal. Fish will be more aggressive towards the fish that are more similar to them. So because my two large peacock bass are spawning, or trying to spawn, they're going to target the fish that are the biggest threats. So male versus male, female versus females, just the biggest competition. And that is the situation inside of my 880 gallon aquarium. That's the situation with most of my aquariums now with this mating season. But that is the reason why I removed my Flagtail Pochilidus from this aquarium. I put them in my pond, and now we're going to go ahead and take a look at my pond. So yeah everyone, this right here is the backyard pond. This is the pond where I put my Flagtail Pochilidus, and now he is no longer with us 1 week later. So yeah, I've had this pond for about 10 years, and ever since I've had this pond, I've been taking fish out of my aquariums and put them in this pond for the summer. They love it in here because there's so much space. If you don't know, this pond is 10 feet long. It is 3.5 feet wide in some spots, 4 feet wide in some spots. The widest spot down here in the shallow end is like 5 feet. Down here in the shallow end, it's about, I'd say, 1.5 feet deep, and it goes down to 3.5 feet deep. So it's definitely a lot of places to swim, a great surface area for these fish. And there's also a lot of algae, which is a huge benefit for my Flagtail Pochilidus because it is an algae eater. So this was pretty much the perfect man-made ecosystem for that fish. 1 week into the system, and he is no longer with us, so that definitely sucks. Now before I get into that, I'll give you guys just a brief update of the pond. First off, you can see we have some crystal clear water. As I mentioned in the deep end, down there is about 3.5 to 4 feet deep. And you can see right to the bottom, and that's thanks to my DIY filter. That is pretty much a storage container, heavy duty storage container. I drilled a bunch of holes in it, put a bunch of filter media inside. It's connected with PVC to my pump, and it's being pumped up to my waterfall. Coming through the waterfall, looking nicely. Let me give you guys a nice look at my waterfall. Try to give you guys, we have some bright cooking sun, so it's hard to see, but coming through the waterfall, a lot of natural plants. We have thyme, the herb. I'm not going to get into all that because the video is not about that. But it comes back in here. Yeah, that's a DIY pump, and it's keeping my water nice and crystal clear. Plants over here, providing some nice shade. Added some lilies, and of course the koi, they demolished them in no time. And then over here, my bog. My bog is actually not doing too well. You can see the plants are pretty crispy. That's because this is running off a solar pump. The solar pump actually broke, so it's been drying up lately. I try to fill it up with the water hose, but with these 100-degree days, it's actually hard to keep it dry. It's nice to see that the cattails are still healthy looking, but the stems are getting crispy. But yeah, that is a briefing of the pond. Besides that, the fish are doing all right. But yeah, let's get on to the Flagtail Pochilidus. I added this fish a week ago. I've been coming out every day just to check on him. He's been doing all right. Today I came out, couldn't find him. Thought he was just hiding, so I gave him some time. Came out a couple of times, couldn't find him. And then eventually I came out and I started to look around the pond, and I discovered this. So again, pretty disgusting scene. My Flagtail Pochilidus was in this pond for a week, and somehow he fell victim to predatorization, which is insane. Now, to make this even worse, 2 weeks ago I posted this post on Facebook. So I came outside and I found most of my koi hidden. The pond was like empty for 2 weeks straight because the koi would not come out. I knew it was some type of predator. I thought it was a snake because I found snake skin all around the pond. But a snake wouldn't do that. A snake couldn't do that. So I think we're working with either a raccoon or a bird. Now the question is, why would I add the fish when I know that there was a predator around my pond? The koi were hiding when the predator was around for 2 weeks straight. For 2 weeks straight, the pond was like empty. And then they started to come out again. So I thought that the predator problem was gone. And obviously that was not the case. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to predators, so I don't know what did this. The thoughts are that it could have been a raccoon, but I have dogs in my yard, and I heard and I also read that the dogs, as they go and mark the territory, and I know that the dog actually marked this post every day, that should have scared the raccoons away. So I'm thinking it could have been a bird. I know that whatever it was, they aim for the eyes. That's usually what a raccoon would do. So definitely the worst way to lose your favorite fish. He was hunted in my pond after being in the pond for about a week. So yeah, that's what happened to my flagtail Pochilodus. I don't even know what to say after that. That's like insane. I'm getting ready to bury him. Like I said, he was one of my favorite fish of all time. But that's actually sick. What possibly could have came in here and took that one fish? Like I mentioned, the koi were acting strange like 2 weeks ago, but they couldn't catch the koi, but they were able to catch my flagtail Pochilodus, which by the way was a fish that was very difficult for me myself to catch. He's not as bright and he doesn't stick out like the koi, so no idea how not saying I wanted the koi to die, but no reason why he was so easy to catch for that predator, whatever that predator was. I was thinking about getting a camera out here, but it's going to be pretty difficult getting a good angle. So yeah, pretty awkward situation. So yeah, everyone, that is a look at the worst way to lose your favorite fish. Of course, there's a big urge in me to go ahead and buy another flagtail Pochilodus or replace them, because like I said, they are gentle giants. They're very beautiful fish. They're algae eaters, and there's a lot of good things to say about the flagtail Pochilodus. However, at this point, all my aquariums are pretty much maxed out when it comes to space, so I'm likely not going to be getting another flagtail Pochilodus. So yeah, that definitely is a huge loss. So yeah, while we're out here, I want to give you guys a look at this outdoor project. I'm supposed to be making videos of these projects that I do outside, but as I mentioned before, I've been very busy, so not a lot of time to actually record. But over here I have a little experiment, and I'm trying to raise not peaceful, but fish that are comfortable with me, myself, the fish keeper. You see how they're coming up to me, and this is a part of the experiment. So basically what I do is I get fish that are extremely comfortable with me, those being my Paradise Gourami, this blue fish right here. If I stick my hand in here, the Paradise Gourami, when they were in an aquarium, they will always come up to my hand like this right there. So I took 5 of them out and I put them in this pond, and then I bought some fish to go in here with them to try to get them to pick up the behavior that the Paradise Gourami practice. Now, in order to make this work, you can't have too many fish. Like if you have a bunch of fish that are afraid, the fish are going to follow the majority, so everybody is going to be afraid. However, if you do have a few, it's most likely those few will quickly pick on the behavior of the bold. So yeah, we have 5 Paradise Gourami that are willing to eat on my hand. We have some goldfish in there. We have like 3 goldfish. We have 2 Texas cichlids that I'm growing out for my 350, and then we have 2 koi that were given to me for free. And the goal is to get these guys to be hand fed so that I can have just different types of fish that are social. And so far the plan is working. As you saw, I stuck my hand in there to greet the Paradise Gourami, and everybody came up to me, and I have some food in my hand. Well, the food is kind of like floating away, but these guys are pretty much comfortable with me. That's what I'm trying to say. You see how my camera's like acting up. So yeah, I stick my hand in there and they pretty much come right up to me. And this is because they're living in an environment where they have 5 fish that are just already used to me. And because those 5 fish are used to me, they're willing to trust me a lot more. If it was one fish that was used to me and the rest of them weren't, it would probably be a lot harder, because like I said, fish like to follow the majority. And if the majority of the fish are afraid, then that's just going to be the vibe of the ecosystem. But if you have the majority of the fish bold, it's going to carry over to the other fish that are normally not so bold. So yeah, you couldn't see it because there's a terrible glare, but the Texas cichlids, they're all up here, and just a nice way to get fish to be hand trained and to just to be more used to me. Now the question is, when I actually put these fish into their forever homes, like when I put the koi into the pond, will they continue to do this, or will they follow the majority? That is the question. But yeah, just a little experiment that I'm working on out here. But yeah, the main topic of this video was the tragic death of my Flagtail Pochilodus. Definitely one of the top 5 worst ways to lose a fish. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think happened to the Flagtail. Was it a raccoon, or was it a predatory bird? I believe it was a bird, but like I said, this is my first time experiencing any predatorization on my pond. So I'm not 100% sure what it could have been. So let me know in the comment section below if you know. Like always, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Even though it was a bad topic, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.